Japanese officials say a series of earthquakes that struck western Japan Monday killed at least 48 people and damaged thousands of buildings, vehicles, and boats. Donna Warder reports.
Scientists in Japan say more than a dozen earthquakes have struck off the west coast. Content creator Nick Russell was at a gas station in Miyako when the earth started shaking and vehicles began rocking side to side. This is huge. Japan issued tsunami alerts and ordered evacuations in Ishikawa. Some people became trapped under rubble. The Japan Meteorological Agency says one tremor had a preliminary magnitude of 7.6. Japanese public broadcaster NHK-TV warned that torrents of water could reach as high as 16.5 feet and urged people to seek high land or the top of higher buildings. I'm Donna Warder.
Officials in Ukraine say the country's two largest cities were struck by Russian ballistic missile attacks with at least 5 people killed and nearly 100 injured. With the war approaching its 2-year mark, the Kremlin has stepped up its winter bombardment of urban areas in Ukraine. Karen Chamas has more.
Emergency workers were seen rescuing a person from the wreckage of a building in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv after the city was struck by Russian missiles. In Kyiv, 5 areas of the city were hit in the strikes, and at least a dozen people were injured, according to Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. The governor of the Kharkiv region said at least 1 person died and dozens were injured in Russian missile strikes that hit the center of Kharkiv city and other areas. The barrage of the cities continued Russia's escalated attacks on Ukraine in recent days. That began on Friday with its largest single attack since the war started. I'm Karen Chamas.
The Israeli military has said it is pulling thousands of troops out of the Gaza Strip, even as fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas militants continues. The move over the next several weeks could set the stage for a new long-term phase of lower-intensity fighting against Hamas. Julie Walker reports.
While Israel says it's pulling the troops in the coming weeks for training and rest, additional defense forces will continue to bear down on other parts of the embattled territory, especially the south. Israel has been under pressure from the U.S. to switch to lower-intensity fighting, but the country has pledged to charge ahead until its war aims have been achieved, including dismantling Hamas, saying it expects the war to go on for months. Israel says more than 8,000 militants have been killed. Gaza's health ministry says almost 22,000 people there have been killed, including women and children. I'm Julie Walker.
A new United Nations report says Burundian troops deployed in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo have been wearing uniforms of the Congolese army and fighting rebels in the troubled region. Chris Okamrinja reports from Kinshasa.
The report by the UN group of experts says the Burundian troops were airlifted to the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo last year. It says they were deployed alongside Congolese forces to fight the M23 rebel group in North Kivu province. Congolese authorities declined to comment about the operations of the Burundian troops in their territory. The fighting in eastern DRC has caused a humanitarian crisis. More than 1 million people have been displaced since October last year. Chris Ochamringa, Kinshasa.
South Korean opposition leader Lee Jae-myung has been stabbed in the neck by an unidentified man during a visit to the southeastern city of Busan. Emergency officials say Lee was attacked Tuesday as he visited the proposed site of a new airport and that the man approached saying he wanted an autograph. His party said Lee's jugular vein was damaged and that he was flown to Seoul for emergency treatment. The party called the attack a serious threat to democracy. Lee lost the 2022 presidential election to President Yoon Suk-yeol by a narrow margin and has been an outspoken critic of his administration. The hacking of a municipal water authority in a small Pennsylvania town is prompting new warnings from American security officials as states and the federal government are wrestling with how to harden water utilities against hackers. Officials say the danger is hackers gaining control of automated equipment to shut down pumps that supply drinking water or contaminate drinking water by reprogramming automated chemical treatments. The efforts took on new urgency in 2021 when the federal government's leading cybersecurity agency reported 5 attacks on water authorities over 2 years, 4 of them by ransomware and a 5th by a former employee. Potentially hostile geopolitical rivals such as Iran and China are viewed by U.S. officials as a threat. And you're listening to Sojourner Truth on Pacifica Radio. I'm Max Pringle.